Springboks versus Ireland, 8-13. Ireland get the chocolates, 13-8. What a game, man. Low scoring game, but up there with one of the best games at this Rugby World Cup. The intense, that first 10 minutes or 20 minutes of intensity. I was tired fucking watching it on my couch. I just woke up, just had a coffee. Man, I was sweating up and losing breath. Man, those guys were going at it. My first question was, can Ireland keep up? They answered that throughout the whole game. Every 10 minutes, I was like, okay, but can they keep up? Like when they started making subs, okay, but will they keep up? Can they keep up? Can they keep getting up? And man, did they keep up. Those boys just kept getting up, kept tackling South Africa, kept carrying the ball, kept making their lineouts, kept making their rucks, kept disrupting the rucks. Doesn't matter who it was, making the tackles, making good, strong, dominant tackles. They out Springbokked the Springboks. I think a lot of Springboks were waiting. Like, yes, there was a lot of certain, like goal kicking comes to mind. Yes, a lot of Springbok fans were waiting for the bomb squad to come on and make a massive difference. Yes, they did. As soon as they got on, I think they got a scrum penalty, and I think we one of the ones that we did kick over. But after that, there was like they just Springboks threw. I wouldn't say, I would like to say not everything, because I'd like to think that we've got a few more aces up our sleeves. But Springboks threw everything at Ireland, man. Full credit to Ireland for that win. They kept, let me stay on Ireland first. They kept coming, like I said, every single minute, all game. Kept waiting for the slip tackles to come, the silly handling errors when the guys are tired, been tackling all bloody game. But it just didn't happen. Massive shout out to Omani and Van der Fleer. Those boys were. I should have probably looked at the stats on how many tackles they made, but I think whatever it is a lie. They would have missed, like the stat keepers would have missed some tackles, because those guys were tackling everything. They are so important for that Irish team. I think Omani, with his experience as well, could see in the huddles he was the one doing a lot of the talking, and just by the look in his eyes too, in some of the talks that he was having with the team, like, you're fucking listening. When he talks, you're listening. So he was massive. Their lineouts early on, bit of a problem. I think Springboks caught maybe 3 or 4 of the first lineouts, but then they figured it out, and then I don't think Springboks disrupted any. I think they got then like 12 or 14 straight lineouts after that. Someone mentioned on one of the comments that I put up a post, and someone in the comments wrote that the Springboks were closing the gap. So there has to be a gap at the line out, and they were kind of bending the rules a bit. But again, if the ref isn't pulling you up on it, you bend the rules a little bit. And when the ref did start pulling them up on it, they weren't getting those the steals at line out. Massive raps on Ireland when they come into the, not say danger zone, into the green zone. So in the attacking 22, they didn't need a second opportunity. Every time they got in there, it was either 3 points or they scored a try. The first try, just their ability to run the back play, that back option play. So if I'm the player here, you've got a dummy runner coming short off me, and then there's someone looping around the back. That guy looping around the back is out of picture. You can't even see him. This guy here, the ball carrier, throws that ball without even looking behind him, and they just know someone is in there looping around like that. And Sexton almost scored. Oh, man. I'm all for good rugby, but if Sexton scored there, I was switching off the game. And I just, as a non-Irish, I love rugby and love all the players that play rugby, but he's just got almost like a punch me face. I bet if I played with him, he's probably a good bloke. I mean, he can kick a ball. I love that about him, but he's got like a punch me face. So if he scored there, I would have been really upset. But Mac Hansen, he looped it over the top, and Mac Hansen ended up scoring. But again, it shows the how clinical they are. They don't need second or third opportunities. When they're in there in the 22, they're scoring points. And good on him, because South Africa, on the flip side, entered Ireland's 22 a number of times, and they were putting them under so much pressure and couldn't convert it into points. I think Bundy Aki obviously got man of the match, and I said it before the game, his matchup with Damien de Allender, is going to be a sexy one. And what I mean, they both bumped off a couple of players. But what I didn't even think of was that rarely do opponents make one-on-one tackles on each other. So 10 rarely tackles the 10, and 12, yeah, a bit more, but rarely tackles the 12. As a 12, I'm not a 12, I'm just saying, as playing next to a 12 for a long time, you'd always get your 12 to run onto the 10. And I didn't think about that before the game, but it showed big time, man, because Arky runs straight at Marnie Boks straight through and made a ton of meters like that. But just his ability, I think Bundy Arky's, because we all know him to be a bigger body. Yeah, he's a big lad, can run over you, makes big, strong tackles. He's got good soft skills as well. But his ability to do the last little step at the line, just that, on top of that, he's a bigger boy and he's deceptively quick. Just throws all those tools in his toolkit, man, to make him such a strong and good 12 inside center for rugby union, for Ireland, and for Connacht. Like that, just that last second, you think he's gonna bump you. You set to make the tackle, and he just does the little jink, and he's got on your weaker shoulder, or you're grabbing at jerseys, and he's through, man. And like I said, he's got that quick, he's deceptively quick, man. He got away there and run away from a few players. So the Arky, I thought Sexton, obviously his ability to kick goals helps that scoreboard pressure. And then, yeah, but who knows? Yes, they'll top their pool, but they then potentially are playing the All Blacks in what is we all know to be their bogey game, which is the quarterfinals of a World Cup. Yes, they've done everything they can possibly do now to set them up to win that game. But who knows, man? Hopefully no injuries or anything like that, and they can go on and do that, because I'm backing Ireland versus All Blacks. Sorry, All Blacks fans. Jumping over to Boks, and I'm going to say it. Every team that wins a World Cup has an 80+% goal kicker. Even the All Blacks in 2011, when they went through all those injuries, Dan Carter, Aaron Cruden, Colin Slade, Stephen Donald, the Beaver, those guys were all at least 75, 70% up kickers. So when they get given the ball to kick points, 7 out of 10 times at least they're kicking it over. Springboks are not going to win the World Cup if we don't have that. And yes, guys can jump in, and if we're lacking in one side of the team, someone else will make up for it. That doesn't cut it, man, at that level. You need someone to kick the kicks. You'd almost get a weaker ball player, but if he can kick his kicks, man, you'd put him in. Handré Pollard is there. I'm hoping he gets, and I think all of South Africa is hoping, and I really hope he does well. If they do play him against Tonga, it'll be the perfect game to put him in. I think start him with Andre Esterhuizen and Moody at centers. Start Handré Pollard. If he can get to 60 minutes unscathed, pull him off, play whoever, then a 10. And I hope for Handré Pollard and all of South Africa's sake, he does really well, or he kicks well at least, because nothing against Marnie Lebok at all. Good ball player, good hands. He's obviously growing in confidence in that position. He's kicking, yes, he needs to work on. But South Africa doesn't. There isn't someone else that can slot in. Like, get Morné Steyn back. Get Percy Montgomery back. Who else? Bring Johan Goosen, bring Francois Steyn, Ruan Pienaar even. There's no one else really that can step up there that is a good goal kicker as well. So I'm really hoping Handré Pollard does it for us. I think we were matched physically, and it was a bit of a what the. I think the Springboks felt that as well. Like Ireland were bloody good, quacking. They were really good physically, and I think the Springboks also thought maybe we'll hold them out till like the 60, 70 minute and then their breaks will fall. And it didn't. They just kept coming. So massive credit to Ireland again. I'm staying on the Springboks. I thought Damien Willemse was a standout. I think his position is fullback. That the amount of time he has with the ball, because he's reading off defense and off players and the ability to beat defenders, he's second to none. And his step is unreal. Pretty sure I know where he learnt it all, at the heart of rugby in South Africa. Paul Ruas, from our man Lucas Rothman, is a mate that was his coach. My mate. The ability to step and beat defenders, out of this world. And I do think he sits in nicely at fullback. The only thing he'll probably have to work on, and he's got like the best mentor for that, is Billy's chat from fullback. Is, again, I don't know. I'm not on the field listening to his chat, but it's evident how much Billy does for the team from fullback there. But Willemse was really good under the high ball. That's one, like, your first thing as a fullback. Can you catch? Can you diffuse bombs, up and under bombs? And he did that really well. He's obviously got a good boot on him out of hand. And then, yeah, like, why, if we've got such a, so I've touched on the goal kicking already. I, again, hope Pollard does well. We need a goal kicker to win this World Cup. But in saying that, like, if we see our goal kicking is struggling, why are we trying 50-meter penalties? We've got the biggest forward pack in the game, and Marnie Lebok's touch finding kicking has been great. Like, let's do some more mauling. Let's maul. I do think they'll do more of that against Tonga, because we need that 5 points, man. But I think they'll look, so it's either Andre Pollard does well and kicks good, or Marnie Lebok stays there, but they kick to touch and more. Let's score tries. 5 points is more than 3. Think about it. Basic math. But again, credit to Ireland. They did well. 8-3, 13, sorry. 8-13. Favor of Ireland. I'm sure we'll see you guys. Ireland, we'll see you guys again. All right, guys, and I'll see you again. Hit the subscribe, like, and all that. And there's a few more episodes. Loving this. Leave in the comments anything you liking about the World Cup, about this game in particular. What a game it was. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.